take over, if that's okay.
Sounds good.
Sounds great.
All right, well, then I will call this meeting to order. First up, declarations of conflict of interest. Are there any of those from the floor? And we got a conflict?
No.
Seeing none, then I will move on to approval for the minutes. Does anybody got anything they want to add to the minutes or subtract from the minutes or amend in the minutes?
No, I don't.
Boy, we're just zipping along.
I will move.
Okay.
Do we need a
We
second?
got to move, and I'll
Oh,
second.
right. Okay. Yep. Thank you. So shall we move the adoption of the minutes then?
Yes. Yep.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Dissents? No. All right. Approval of the agenda. Anybody need to add anything to that?
No, I don't. No.
Okay. Do we need a motion to approve the agenda?
Yeah.
Okay. Then all in. I'll move the agenda.
Seconder, Mark.
Yep. And any discussion? Okay, I'll call the question. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
So that is approved. Okay, the first item here, the infrastructure communication and implementation plan. That came from Doug, actually, in response to comments that we made 2 meetings ago, where we were talking about how it would be good if plans were sort of run by us at some level. And so we could say yes or no and give support or help or consultation or advice or suggestions or whatever. And Doug suggested that there was no mechanism for that right now. But what he suggested was that what we could do is to develop our own plan and send it to City Hall and for them to debate our plan and to tinker with it and to adjust it accordingly, according to their needs. That sounded to me like quite an interesting idea because I think bike-friendly communities has quite a good sense of what that would be. However, of course, the timing is absolutely lousy for us right now because we've got the council elections that we just heard are going to take place on the 9th of November. So we get suspended in November and there's no sense of what the new mayor or the returning mayor wants to do. And what the councillors want to do, and they won't be meeting until January with maybe sort of getting a sense of what committees and task forces they want in February, that sort of time. So I guess I'm really just, well, what do people think about that as an idea? To take the initiative and then actually have council debate what we have to say rather than us sort of cherry picking what they send to us.
I don't think it's a bad idea.
No, I think it's a good idea too. I am kind of, this isn't my wheelhouse, so I would know how to develop that plan. I would need some support for sure.
Yeah.
So Richard, you're talking about like a network plan for infrastructure for the city.
Exactly.
Well, that's absolutely what Mitch is working on.
Yeah.
We've funded to develop through the province, through bike-friendly communities, and his goal is to have that complete by November-ish timeline. And I don't think it would make sense for us to try to duplicate that work
No.
group, but perhaps I could ask Mitch when he has a draft ready. Actually, he might already have a draft ready. If he could share it with us, and if this group supports that vision, maybe we could support it jointly, or like, yeah, rather than work.
If Mitch has a draft plan, or at least can talk to a draft plan, do you think he'd be prepared to take 15 minutes in our September meeting to present it to us?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm sure. I'll have to check the dates and stuff with
Yeah.
him, but I can ask him. He would love to do that. I'm sure. I know he's far enough along in the process that he would be able to talk about it.
Because I think no matter what the political climate is after the mayoral election, having that as a bike friendly's plan with the support of whatever task force we end up becoming probably gives it a bit more weight. And it means that the politicians actually have to start, if they've got problems with it, they have to start sort of saying, well, we take issue with not just a community group, but a task force that we have set up. And if we can say that we've looked over it and we've had some input in the matter, then it is a Bike Friendly's project, but it's got our name on it at the bottom somewhere in small print as well.
I think that would be wonderful. The thing about this project is that because it's funded through the province, he's creating the draft plan, but there is no like contractual obligation for the city to adopt it. So we want to be like, here you go. Here is the plan is ready and the work's done for you, and we would love for you to adopt it. But that will be like the next step. Is yeah.
Yeah, so we would give it a little bit more weight. But I mean, if the launch of the plan was also done with a press release and a couple of op-eds in The Guardian and a feature on Compass, then suddenly the onus is on the politicians to respond to work and have to say, well, we'll have to debate it, and there's some good things and some bad things, but at least there's a draft and there's a vision behind the draft. I think what we saw with what was with the 5-year plan before is that there was no actual vision underlying it. It was just sort of perceived as a series of public works projects, all of which were individually good and useful, but not coordinated and connected in a way that thought about active transportation users.
And I think as well, Mitch might have an idea, but it doesn't necessarily everybody agrees with that idea either. So I think it's a good idea to get that out there and get some different perspectives on it and see,
Yeah.
Hey, that's awesome. I love that. Or, maybe you could go in this direction. Just to try to get some different lenses on it and kind of, help with something in the end that could attract a lot of people as opposed to a pocket here or a pocket there. Like, I think it'd be better to have a larger consensus of people, that can look at it and say, this is a positive thing.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And just to be clear, as part of this project, they've been doing ongoing outreach and consultation for months. And like, it's not just Mitch's own vision, although he had a starting point where he had done a lot of thinking about it. But yeah, the whole project was funded as like outreach, and there has been lots of consultation. And when the draft is done, he wants to do that sort of another round of feedback consultation. So that's exactly sort of what he'd love to do anyway.
Yeah, I think that's a really good idea to do that. Just because I know with like the past project that they tried with Fitzroy Street, like before anything was released for Fitzroy Street, I contacted Ramona and I said, I'm a cyclist. I have been for years. I live on the street. I think this is awesome. And then I was told, well, you can just wait and see what our plan is. And I was like, well, I'd like to help plan it. And I was, basically the people on the street were kept out of it until it was presented as this is the plan. And that was bad because they were taking out 175 parking spots. People were going to lose their parking for residential. People couldn't park in front of the churches any longer. Like, I mean, it was just a nightmare. And if they had have sat down and talked with the stakeholders before they announced things, and I think it would have been a lot better. So, and there's a lot of different levels of people who are involved in like active transportation and cycling. Like, you know, you have occasional people, you have people that are using it for transportation, you have people that are using it for exercise, you have people who are doing it because of environmental reasons. There's a lot of different people. And not everybody's going to want this, us, like, you know, some people might want to invest a lot of money in a huge dedicated lane on a street that maybe not a lot of people would use, and other people, you know, don't want that. So I mean, I think getting a lot of those eyes on it's a great approach that he's taking. You know, once he gets all the I don't know what you call the branches or the, you know, take away some of the extra stuff and pare it down and get people to look at it that way. I think that's an awesome idea.
Yeah. I can ask him about September's meeting dates, and I know he'd love to come and share.
Yeah, that would be great.
Our next meeting would be the 20th of September.
Okay.
According to my calendar. So yes, we can stick him at the beginning of the agenda and sort of see where the discussion goes. Oh, that would be excellent.
Yeah, I think it would be great. Yeah, just of course, this group as well may have different ideas, but to kind of not yeah, I don't think we have a start. It'd be nice to have a starting point. That's all.
Yeah, I think even if things are imperfect or whatever, what we haven't seen is a collective vision for what this city will look like in 5-10 years, all things being perfect. So having some sort of philosophy or vision behind the active transportation would actually give us something to work towards, or something for the city to work towards. And also something that they'll have to think about if they want to deviate from. I mean, there's all sorts of reasons that they might need to deviate from it, real practical reasons. But it would be good if they sort of had to think, okay, this violates the active transportation plan that we put in place. Is this necessary? Why is it necessary? These sorts of debates that's got to be happening.
I know the main sort of theme of the plan is connectivity and just having the different pathways connected to each other, and that cohesive network is the whole. So
yeah,
sounds like we're all on the same page, looking for the same thing. So that's great.
Yeah. And there is no point in having several groups working on similar projects and duplicating each other's work with minor differences.
Mm-hmm.
Does anybody else have anything they want to add to this discussion? Okay, well, let's move to our regular business then. Reporting from departmental liaisons. So Public Works. Is that you, Jason, isn't it?
No, it's me, Sharon.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay. I talked with Scott via email, and he has nothing more to report except that they're working on some major projects with Public Works. Obviously, the one we've talked about quite a bit, the roundabout, has started. I'm sure you've seen on the news a couple of things about that. They've had to kind of jut around, going through the easy, remember the old Save Easy parking lot was one. And also just down from me, there's a major thing happening on, I forget the name of the street. Is it Harley Street?
Yes.
Oh, wow. They are really coming along with that. So I'm eager to see how that looks at the end.
So whereabouts is that? I can't think.
It's past Allen Street.
Oh, okay. Right.
and it's the whole street is being ripped up for sure. They're still in the dirt stage, I would say, trying to get it all done. So that's it for Public Works, but I'll just make a side note. I was to have a meeting with Scott last month, and personally, things went kind of awry, so that didn't happen. But my intention is to, by September's meeting, have some. I think we were just going to ask him a few follow-up questions from July's meeting. So I will have that. I'll have some answers for you in September. Okay.
Excellent. Any questions there? All right, the next one is what? It's Parks and Recreation, which is me. So don't have a lot. So I was in touch with Nancy McMinn. So the flooding concern on the Confederation Trail south of Sherwood Road has been addressed, and there being some minor repairs along the trail surface. The other thing she mentioned is that a lot of non-cycling residents are on a walk around Andrews Pond, and none of them were aware of any of the new trails. So she was saying that she wished that there was some sort of communications campaign that would make a splash about all the new AT initiatives that have been going on. I don't know if that falls to us, but I mean, she certainly got a point. These things are not always as well publicized as they should be. I would think that should probably come from the mayor's communications people, but it's, yeah. But that's all she had to say.
Yeah, everything around Andrews Pond is pretty awesome now.
Yeah, it sounded it. I haven't been out there for a bit, but yes, yeah. Okay, sorry, Sharon.
Well, just to kind of respond, like, wouldn't that be something the city would do with the communications? Is there websites and so who could
I would agree. I would think that this is a press release and it's a nice sort of Saturday Guardian story, isn't it? With some nice pictures of fall colors and all of that sort of stuff. It's a nice little compass feature. But yeah, I think that sort of stuff needs to come from really a press release from the mayor's office.
Yeah. So
I mean, we could possibly ask that.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. To ask Doug, maybe.
Yeah, I agree. What could we put a
I'm
bug
just
in Doug's
looking.
ear to?
I'm just looking on the city and I just kind of Googled it. There was something back. I definitely think there was something in 2020, but they actually did a cycling around there with the French school. I feel like that was towards the end of school. But I don't really see anything about it yet. But yeah, I think it is a question perhaps to Doug or the other comms team there.
Yep. So why don't I drop Doug a note after this? Okay. Anything else on Parks and Recreation? All right, the next issue is police, and I think that's Ryan, isn't it?
No, it's me. And
okay, I'm bound to get one right at some point.
Well,
guess-
You got yours right.
you're
Thank you.
definitely trying.
The police, did somebody say police?
Of course, I have my mouth full of water when this.
It's,
Well, hello, Batman.
ask the bat.
Oh
Was the
my
bat-
God.
That was funny. Oh my gosh.
I don't have any report from police. Does anybody have anything that I mean, I'm sure we could bring up all kinds of things, but does anybody have anything that they want me to check out?
The Joker.
Does he ride a bike?
I don't know if he does, Richard. I'm
Because
not,
if he doesn't, we
I'm
shouldn't
not
be doing it.
familiar, believe it or not. I've never watched the movie.
He probably has a bat bike.
Mm-hmm.
No comment.
No, I think, Margaret, I think we're good this time with the
Okay.
police, so.
I was a little bit, I was like, what is that? When I saw the costume, I was a bit like, oh dear.
I still haven't seen his face.
I'm not one.
We'll have.
Oh, ever, Sharon?
Never.
Oh,
If
no,
I
no,
met
actually.
Batman on the street, I wouldn't know him.
aha. Well, there's a challenge out to our fellow task force member.
To have a barbecue, I agree.
Yes, he's said that a few times. Okay, what's next, Richard? Try to keep rolling.
Sustainability. I have no idea who it is. And
Before you fly away.
I know, we got to keep Batman around. Sustainability was an open one. And I know Jason said that he would just check in with Doug every month. I don't know if we did that or.
No, I never had a chance. Actually, things got kind of nutty with me with sustainability stuff. Yeah, he's a good liaison. Like, to go through stuff. When I was talking to the mayor, I was speaking to the mayor. I saw him on the street there a couple weeks ago, and I was just kind of asking him, and he's saying he's reoffering, and I know that he's kind of proactive transportation and kind of wanting to keep things going. So I don't know what we'll do, if we'll be on that council or not, but as far as what we're doing here, I think there's a lot of will to kind of keep that kind of stuff going.
Yeah.
As far as Ramona goes, I haven't heard anything from anybody in the city yet. When I talked to him, I asked him kind of what the plan was, and he said they don't really have anybody in place yet.
Shush.
So I don't know. Has anybody heard of any hirings at the city in the past week? No, I haven't heard anything. Maybe I'll just send a message to Doug now just to see if they've made any movement on that.
Has Ramona left?
Yeah.
Okay.
What's this? You guys.
Oh, what? Anything else around sustainability? Okay, so the next one would be cycling, and that's Jason. I remember.
I haven't. No, nobody from Cycling PI has contacted us. Their newsletters are super informative. I don't know if you guys get them or not, but they're really doing an awesome job at promoting cycling throughout the province. They're done so well. I've looked them over every time I get them and I read them. I just think how well they're done and how they're informing of events and things that are happening. So other than the newsletters, I haven't been in contact with anybody.
Yeah, I haven't got their newsletters, but I just made a note to subscribe.
Carrie, would you be able to just give some feedback on I think it was Tuesday night cycling that was happening? Yeah. Did you get some good numbers?
Agenda, isn't it? Um, yes, every week. I wasn't personally leading them or at them, but there was a lot of interest. So just for context, everyone, we had every Tuesday night in July, we had a little route ride in Charlottetown where people would meet, and there was a couple different routes that they did. And the goal was to kind of show people some of the different ways you can get around the city, different connections, different paths that exist already, using only separated infrastructure or like quiet streets. So to kind of connect. And there was always like anywhere from like 6 to 10 people come, and different people, different weeks. So it was like a good turnout for what it was.
Good.
And we had so many questions about like, are you going to do more? Are you going to keep doing them? And so we're going to try to do another one or two before the fall really gets going. And we've been asked to do one in Cornwall. Cornwall wants us to do one. So like they seem to have been really well received. Like people enjoy the social aspect, but also like getting to see these pathways for themselves.
Yeah.
So it seems to be a good thing we'll kind of keep on our programming, probably for next summer, maybe even try to expand what we do there.
Good.
Oh, excellent. What about you were doing senior rides, were you not?
Sorry, what rides?
Yeah, senior rides? There was a piece of equipment that you purchased, and I can't remember what it was.
So we bids by two different sources to get two trishaws, which are bicycles that have a big kind of a bench seat on the front that you can put people into and drive them around, bike them around. They're electric bikes. They are heavy duty pieces of equipment, and we haven't received them yet.
Oh,
Like
okay.
anything else, there's delays in shipping. So we were expecting them in July, and they're still haven't arrived. So we kind of knew that we probably wouldn't be able to really launch that program this year, but we should be able to train up our and start recruiting for volunteers and kind of be ready to go for the spring. And we're already starting to talk with some of the seniors' homes that we're partnering with to kind of get them excited. The residents are really excited about this program. So it's happening. We just got to get the bikes.
I would love to volunteer for that. That would be so much fun.
We've had a lot of people express that. Like it just is a really feel-good project.
Yeah.
So once we sort of are ready to start formally put out the formal call for volunteers, then I can definitely let you guys know.
Yeah, I would love that.
So given that this is sort of the bike-friendly communities report, do you have anything else you want to bring up, Carrie?
I would say that's kind of, we're wrapping up our summer rides, and we've had a summer student that we were able to hire this year, and he has been doing a lot of pop-ups to do outreach with people and talking about what they want to see for infrastructure. Last weekend, or this past Saturday, we were in Summerside for the first time because we've been kind of focused on this capital region, Charlottetown area, but are hoping to expand. And so we were able to connect with some really avid cyclists in Summerside that are very interested in doing similar, like getting the infrastructure in their city. And so that was a great kind of connection to make. And so I don't know, things, there's just some really exciting possibilities coming up in the future.
Excellent.
Draft plan is all part of what we're hoping to produce. We're also producing some videos. I don't know if I shared that with this group before, as part of the same outreach project. which is they're meant to be educational, really accessible about different, really like local, like any, I mean, you can go on YouTube and find lots of like how to change a bike tire, probably all. But we want to focus on like, okay, how do you navigate this roundabout, or like the St. Peter's intersection? That's really like the St. Peter's Road one that's really unique. And so this fall we'll be really shifting our focus to those videos and hopefully releasing over
Oh,
the winter. Spring.
That's
So
great.
we're busy. But if there's ever anything, and I know I'll invite Mitch for next month, but yeah, we're happy to have partnerships and collaborate and work together on any projects.
if Mitch is going to be talking about a plan, if he's got any visuals, if we could have them sort of a day or two in advance, that would probably be quite handy.
Right.
I mean, I don't know about you, but I'm navigating several screens already.
No, it's great. And then you can have like questions for
Yeah.
already. I can ask him for that. Absolutely.
Okay, well, that takes us to new business. Does anybody have any business that they would like to bring to the task force?
Summer's in full swing. Nobody has any business.
Summer's in full swing. Oh, I'm counting the days until term starts.
Yes, you are. Yes. So are all the moms and dads in the world.
Yes, 14, I think. Okay, well, seeing no other business, then I guess we are concluded.
That's great.